Hello! I hope nag-enjoy po kayo sa advantages of homeschooling na ginawa po namin para sa inyo. And now we're gonna talk about the disadvantages of homeschooling. Actually, preference lang naman po talaga to eh. Like, if I talk to other homeschool moms, they will say, there is no disadvantage. But sorry, meron tayong disadvantage. And I want to be very, very honest with you in this journey. Because I believe so, na merong, lahat naman may mga disadvantages eh. Okay? Okay, number 1 disadvantage of homeschooling. Okay, yung lagi po tayong tinatanong about homeschooling. Okay, frequently explain their reason about homeschooling. I know. Sometimes it's so hard to always explain, bakit ka ba nag-homeschooling? Okay? So, minsan nakakapagod na, di ba, on our part. Sobra ako napapakot, bilhin mo 14 years. Novi, bakit ka ba nag-homeschooling? Relatives mo, friends mo, you always have to explain yourself. So, that's one of the disadvantages. Sometimes there were times na parang, ayoko na magkwento, sa totoo lang. And I don't have to explain myself. But, I think that's one of the disadvantages if you go in this journey. Okay, number 2. Well, I don't see this as a disadvantage, but as I observe some of the parents is be around their children all day long, as in 24 hours a day. So sometimes, tayo mga parents, parang feeling mo wala ka ng pahinga. And some of the parents that I know, parang hindi nila type yun. Well, in some ways, depende rin sa parent. So this is what they seems na it's a disadvantage. But I think in one way, it's also an advantage for me, because I get to know them deeply on that end. I could be able to adjust. At unang-una nga, mababago tayo if we have kids. That's why I always choose to have a day off once a week, which I don't use. But through the years, I was able to choose my battles as well. Number 3, disadvantage. Restrain anger and remain patient. Ang hirap no, disadvantage yun dahil hindi ko kaya. I-restrain yung anger ko at maging patient all the time. Talagang lalabas pa rin talaga. 'Di ba? Sometimes, especially yung meron tayong may encounter na mga anak na hirap-hirap turuan, talagang ayaw nila mag-focus, ayaw umupo. Well, one way or another, I'd see it also in such a way na mahirap maging patient. We can always be, and we have to be real. And one way of doing that is you really have to be honest with your kid. You have to be honest with them and say sorry if you cannot control yourself. Number 4 disadvantage is effectively handle difficulties. If, sometimes may tendency talaga pag nag-homeschool, yung sobrang relax sa pag-aaral. Okay? So, minsan slow pace siya. So, sometimes, kasi you want to gauge their learning curve. So, para bang chine-cherish mo. Siyempre, sa real world, hindi po pwede yun. So, do you have the tendency to do that? So, we need to teach our kids and balance in that well. That's why I honor their learning style, how they learn in their pace. But at the same time, I always challenge them as well. So, they also need to know na hindi laging ganun. They need to see the reality na hindi laging relax. Okay? So, they need to also see the conventional way. That's why I try to make them drills and I try to let them do annual tests of different types of annual tests in different types of testing so that they will know how to be fast as well. Number 5 disadvantage of homeschooling is you may spend large amount of money. Okay, in some way, some of the parents will be able to say na, hindi, makakatipid ako sa homeschool. It's true, kasi makakatipid ka sa tuition fee, makakatipid ka sa transpo. Pero, I know some of the parents talagang medyo, alam mo yun, because they want to give everything to their child, bibilhin lahat na pwedeng bilhin, magta-travel kung saan-saan. So, sometimes, out of budget ka. So, disadvantage yun. So, you have to gauge, you have to choose your battle. As a family, you need to agree. I know that we want to give the best to our kids, but we have to gauge din kung ano yung budget natin. Baka kasi sobra-sobra na. Like for example, if you want to buy this curriculum, biglang may lumabas na naman next year na bago, so bibili mo na naman yun. So, we have to guard ourselves as well on that end. Okay? Number 6 disadvantage of homeschooling is may adapt teacher syndrome. Ano tong sabihin teacher syndrome? Alam mo yun, sometimes, dahil masyado natin kinakareer ang homeschooling, mas nagbe-bend tayo dun sa rules rather than our relationship with our kids. Well, it's okay. Actually, mahirap talagang maging teacher time and then maging parent ka at the same time. And then, magluluto ka pa, gagawin pa yung chores. Madami tayong roles. But, at the end of the day, that's why we need to pray. You have to pray one engagement at the time. And gauge and see your child not as a student, always a student, but see them as how God called them to be. Para hindi tayo, ma-defocus. The rules about homeschooling and rules at home is only a guideline, but that's not the ultimatum. Again, relationship is still more important than this. And last but not the least, ang ating pang-7th na disadvantage is spend time reviewing numerous curriculums. O yun na nga, ito yung tendency na pag bumibili ka na madaming curriculum, madami ka rin tinuturo. So, hinay-hinay lang. So, you just have to choose what's best for your child and for yourself. Hindi porket may curriculum na dumaan, ito gusto ko, silent mission ako, ito yung method na gagawin ko. You have to decide what's really best for your child. And makakatipid ka pa, not only that, you'll be able to also honor their learning curve as well. Kasi, hindi naman kailangan ituro mo lahat eh. I realize, they also need to learn on their own as well. Kailangan nating aminin na hindi lahat manggagaling sa atin yung learning. So, don't pressure yourself. Okay? So, those are the disadvantages of homeschooling. I know homeschooling can be very stressful at times, but I just want you to know, God will honor your heart and your motivation. Basta ang goal lang po natin is to build great memories, build a great foundation in your relationship with your child. At the end of the day, when you wake up in the morning, ano ba talaga yung goal? I know homeschooling can be a pressure maybe to your family, to your friends, because you want to prove something. Don't go on that level. Dahil dun talaga masa-stress kayo. So, I think, by doing homeschooling, we need to have the right heart and ask ourselves, how do we move? Do we move in fear? Do we move in proving ourselves to others? Do we move in, or we have to move in love? And just take it one day at a time and savor what God has given us, the gift of time to be able to spend to our kids and to our family. And that's the most important. Kung magkamali, aminin natin na nagkamali tayo. And that's okay. Okay, lani po nating tatandaan sa homeschooling. Mas importante po ang relationship kesa sa academics. Ako po si Novi Antan, ang inyong homeschool coach, and I homeschool. Bye!